Welcome to our channel. Please like and subscribe. World War II is often explained in dates, battles, and long timelines. But what actually happened? Why did it start? How did it spread so fast? And how did it reshape the entire world? In the next few minutes, you're going to understand World War II in a simple, clear way. Without confusion. Without unnecessary detail. Just the story of what really happened. Let's begin. To understand World War II, we have to go back to the end of World War I. After World War I, Germany was blamed for the war. They were forced to pay huge penalties, lose territory, and reduce their military. This created anger, economic hardship, and instability inside Germany. People were struggling, and many wanted change. That's when Adolf Hitler rose to power, promised to rebuild Germany, restore its strength, and undo the punishments from World War I. At first, many people supported him, but his goals went much further. He wanted expansion, control, and power. Now let's move to 1939. This is when World War II officially began. Germany invaded Poland. This was a turning point, because Britain and France had promised to protect Poland. So when Germany attacked, they declared war on Germany. And just like that, another world war had begun. At first, Germany moved quickly. They used a strategy called Blitzkrieg, which means lightning war. Fast-moving attacks, tanks, aircraft, all striking quickly and aggressively within a short time. Germany took control of much of Europe. Countries like France, Belgium, and the Netherlands fell. Now, at the same time, another major force was rising. Japan. Japan was expanding in Asia, seeking resources and power. They invaded parts of China and continued to grow their influence. Then came a major turning point. In 1941, Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, a U.S. naval base in Hawaii. This attack shocked the United States, and the next day, the U.S. declared war. Now, the war had truly become global. The main sides were now clear. The Allies, including the United States, Britain, and the Soviet Union, and the Axis powers, including Germany, Japan, and Italy. Now, let's talk about the scale. World War II was massive. It involved over 70 countries, millions of soldiers, and battles across multiple continents. But it wasn't just soldiers. Civilians were heavily affected. Cities were bombed. Resources were limited. And daily life changed for everyone. One of the darkest parts of the war was the Holocaust. Millions of Jewish people and others were systematically targeted and killed by Nazi Germany. This was one of the most tragic events in history. Now, let's move to a major shift in the war. At first, the Axis powers were advancing, but eventually, the momentum began to change. In the Soviet Union, German forces faced harsh conditions and strong resistance. In battles like Stalingrad, Germany suffered major losses. This was a turning point. At the same time, the Allies were gaining strength. They had more resources, more coordination, and growing momentum. Then in 1944, another key moment happened. D-Day. Allied forces landed in Normandy, France. This marked the beginning of the liberation of Western Europe. From that point on, Germany was pushed back. Step by step, the Allies advanced, until eventually they reached Germany itself. In 1945, Germany surrendered. Hitler had died, and the war in Europe was over. But the war was not completely finished. Japan was still fighting. So the United States made a controversial decision. They dropped 2 atomic bombs on the cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The destruction was immense. And shortly after, Japan surrendered. This marked the end of World War II. Now, take a moment. Think about the scale of what happened. Over 60 million people lost their lives. Entire cities were destroyed, and the world was changed forever. After the war, new global systems were created. The United Nations was formed to try to prevent future conflicts. Countries rebuilt, borders shifted, and the balance of power changed. The United States and the Soviet Union emerged as superpowers, leading into a new period called the Cold War. Now let's simplify everything. World War II began because of unresolved issues from World War I. Combined with rising powers seeking control, it spread quickly due to aggressive expansion and became global when major nations joined. It ended after years of conflict, with the defeat of Germany and Japan, and it reshaped the world. Politically, economically, and socially. This was not just a war of armies. It was a war that affected everyone, and its impact is still felt today. Now you understand what actually happened. not just the events, but the story behind them. That was excellent. Please like and subscribe for daily lessons. See you next time.